What's up, traders? Welcome back to StartTrading.com. What a crazy day. Woo! Everything's up, everything's down, everything's all over the place. Recovery, growth. What's going on? Nobody knows. Seems that the Fed has thrown a bunch of confusion where all of a sudden you had all these recovery stocks, some of which were climbing, like Disney shot 5% today. Then you had all these growth stocks, also a bunch climbing, but a bunch falling. Made absolutely no sense. You had like Tesla, CCIV going up, but then you had some of the Chinese stocks just floundering, some up, some down. Then you had some of the stocks that are just out of the arc and things like that, just not really doing much or minimal growth or losses. It really made no sense today. So let's try to make sense of it. So the Fed is now coming back, and they're going to be addressing inflation tomorrow. And they think some of the CPI data that's going to come out is going to show that inflation is going to happen sooner than the market thought. And therefore, some of these stocks you're seeing a sell-off on. Now, Caterpillar, though, for example, let's take that one example, and Disney. Two not complementary stocks. They're almost like they're competing over the last couple of weeks. So what happened there? Well, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button so you can find out more often what kind of cool stuff's happening in the market that you need to know about, such as what's going on with Caterpillar and Disney. Well, there's some catalysts for Disney, some catalysts for Caterpillar. The main catalyst that I am hypothesizing on is that people are trying to pump it before the dump. Now, does that mean we are on a trajectory upwards and then dumping before the end of the year? Or is that going to happen after the end of the year? Or is it going to happen at the end of the year when investors least expect it, so hedge funds and those that manipulate the stock market can play into your psychology, because they try to put in all this FUD out there for people to be scared and sell out their shares, like you saw with AMC, but it didn't happen. People didn't sell off fast enough, so there wasn't enough of a sell-off, despite all the videos about Michael Burry, etc., whatever, Ray Dalio. Is the crash happening before the end of the year, or is it going to happen mid-next year? Are we going to see the worst crash ever next year, maybe around the same time, back in March, April, May, June? Or are we going to see it now? I tend to believe it's going to happen next year, because we're going to see the Delta variant spikes happen from coronavirus. We're going to see all of a sudden a lot of FUD happening because of that. We're going to see the inflationary concerns happening. All this is going to happen mid-next year. That we're going to realize the real estate market is coming to a halt. All kinds of stuff's going to happen then. All the after effects of COVID, after effects of these of the spending, of all the money being released in the market. So what can we do? Well, I'm just going to go along for the ride for now, set my trailing stop losses, and look for opportunities. So we had some great opportunities from Newegg, which had just completely dropped off, and I picked up that tip from Chris Sane, so appreciate that, my man. And I've gone ahead and done a put against that. AMC is taking the trajectory that it did last time when we had a pump on a Tuesday. It had a huge drop, and then Tuesday it went up 100%. Then again, a few weeks later, it had a huge decline, and it hit its bottom, and then popped back up over the next 2 days to reach all-time high in the $60 range. What is going to happen this week? Are we going to see a huge pump, or are we going to see a huge drop? Well, I'm not a sucker, so I don't want to stay in for the 50% decline, so I'm going to set my trailing stop losses around 30%. And I'm also not a gambling man, so, well, I am actually. So if I had the funds right now, too bad I went all in last Friday on AMC. I bought 200 more shares on a forced options call option that was closing on Friday, and exercised because I put it at $45 and we were at 46 at the close of business on Friday. So I got 200 more shares and a call, a margin call, which I got to cover by Thursday at 1 p.m. Sometimes they let me go until Friday because I have over 6 figures in the account, so it's like they're like whatever. So what are we gonna do there? Well, again, we're gonna set our trailing stop loss, and we're gonna wait for the spike. After that spike, if it is in the 50% to 100% range, I am going to sell off some shares. And I'm going to buy some puts to ride that sucker on the way back down, because you know what's going to happen? It's going to spike, And if it doesn't go to $1,000 tomorrow, or $100 and something a share, then it's most likely gonna come crashing back down. So where are you going to sell is the question. How long are you gonna hold on for? And are you gonna be stuck holding the bag? When is it gonna happen? Will it be this week? Will it be a couple weeks from now? We don't know. We saw a lot of retail investors holding that stock. But anyways, in any case, Disney, too late to buy in? Yes or no? I believe so. Caterpillar, I'm not gonna buy into. Disney, I think still has some room for growth, but I don't know if this is artificial right now, this increase. Been waiting all year for that. Stocks I am waiting for are Chinese stocks. So I'm waiting for those to bottom out so I don't catch the falling knife, but so that I buy the dip, such as NEO and Diddy and Baba. Those are my top three. So that's what I'm gonna look for. Cryptocurrencies. I started moving some money from our recovery stocks into cryptocurrencies. Was that a mistake? We shall find out by this Friday. If it continues to decline, if it goes down more than 10%, I'm not gonna be scared. If it goes down more than 20%, I will be afraid because that's going into a deep winter. So if it pops back up again, I'll see an opportunity to sell and recover some of those losses and then hopefully buy back in on the dip again. So that's my game plan for this week. Sitting waiting, seeing what the heck this crazy market's shaking out. We're gonna see more once Jerome Powell speaks at the Fed tomorrow, and that will give us more guidance. Make sure you have these trailing stop losses set because we don't know when that crash is coming, but all signs with all the liquidity in the market or lack of liquidity and all the margin in the market is leading to that. But I personally do not think it's gonna happen this year. All right, that's all I got for you for starttrading.com. Go there, take some courses if you can, which anybody can. They're free. And as always, start trading.